Yesterday I made a video on shows, TV shows that are very popular that are centered around finding the one, finding a spouse, such as The Bachelorette, The Bachelor, Married at First Sight, 90 Day Fiance, whatever it is. They're very popular shows because women, predominantly women, love seeing stories of other women finding the one because I guess it gives them hope. Okay. Men also like seeing these shows as well. It's not just females. Um, but it's the perceived notion that there's a one out there. Now it's no shocking revelation that these marriages soon fall apart after the show has ceased airing. It's always interesting. You watch the show and you see how intent the woman is. Let's say The Bachelor. You see how intent the woman is on proving that her love is better than the other females and that she's in a contest with. Okay, and you can see how the men begin to believe that these women actually love them. But the truth is the women only love the attention they're going to garner and gain from being on this TV show. Okay? That's why right after the show ends and there's no more cameras in their face, the marriage completely falls apart. Literally. I mean, I've heard of these couples splitting months after the show's aired. But on the show, they were the ones. They were the perfect matches. The late Mike Morrow, great preacher, man of God. I remember hearing him give testimony on how he found his wife. And this is just a story I want to throw out there for you guys. Just to remember that you don't have to be at the right place at the right time, look this way, or do anything. If God has it in His will for you to have a spouse, you're going to be married. I remember Tim Conway saying, you could be on a deserted island, thousands of miles away from land. And if it's God's will that you have a wife, God will get a woman to that island. Now, I want to tell you the story that Mike Morrow told about how he met his wife. He was at a camp, a Christian camp retreat. It was like it was out in the woods, a bunch of Christians, hundreds of Christians, and it was like a summer camp type thing. And he had had his eyes on this woman in his church for years, but he was always too afraid to kind of, initiate some type of courtship or anything. He just kind of stayed back. And he remembered she was at this camp. And the whole time he was there, he just kept his eyes on her. And this one day came when the way he described it was when it was lunchtime, they would lay out the tables and they would have the food on the table, and it'd be up front, one long table, and they had two lines. One line was on the left side and one line was on the right side, and it was kind of like the lines were at an angle and they kind of met up at the same point at the table, right? He was on the left side and she was on the right side. Now she was way further back than he was, so uh, you know, by numbers regard, he was going to get to the table before she was. Now he remembers praying to himself. He said, "Lord, I'm really interested in this woman. She's beautiful. She's godly. She's everything I believe a Christian woman should be. Lord, I have an intense feeling that this woman is going to be my wife, but I'm just not sure. Could you just give me a sign, Lord? Give me one sign, and then I will approach her. Any sign. I don't know. I don't even know what you're going to do, but just do something, Lord. Show me that this woman. Show me that I'm not feeling my feelings are not wrong in regards to this woman, this Christian, godly woman." And so he prayed that prayer and then he forgot about it because, I mean, he said they were in the line for like 30 minutes. So he had just forgotten about what he prayed. Now remember that he's further up in the line and she's back, way back. Okay, so there's really no possible way that they could meet at the same point, at the same time. So about 15 minutes goes by. And then, no, I think he said like 20 minutes went by. He had forgot what he prayed. He had forgot it. So he gets up. He's not even thinking about her at this point. He's just thinking about getting some food. And then there's a person in front of him. The person gets his food and leaves, and then boom. He goes to reach for a plate. And when he reaches for a plate, he reaches to his right. and he looks, and she's staring him right in the face, and she says, "Hi, Mike," and he's like, "What? What?" Like, wait, hold on, wait, you were way back, and then he remembered the prayer, and he just like he was just dumbfounded. He just like stared at her for like, and she's like, "Everything okay?" And so they kind of got their food and they walked off together and sat down together. And he told her his prayer, and voila, they ended up, you know, uh, courting each other and getting married, and they've been married for like 30 years. And I mean, I just thought that was an amazing story because I think too often we don't rely on God. We don't rely in our God. We forget how powerful our God is. We forget that we have a God that answers prayer. And too often we rely on the arm of the flesh. You know, and I mean, Paul Washer's got a great testimony of letting go of the arm of the flesh and relying solely on God for your needs. Um, so I just wanted to share that quick story with you guys. If you're single and you desire to be married, just know and remember that you don't have to be at the right place at the right time or look a certain way. And I'm speaking to Christians. You don't have to say the right thing, or you don't have to be on this dating site. Listen, if it's God's will that you will be married, guess what? You're going to be married. So just remember that going forward. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Take care.